I'm talking about 16th hat grooves in this video. We're talking about rock grooves in 4/4 time that have 16th note hi-hats. Typically you play them with two hands. Here's an example. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how figuring grooves like this out. I'm not going to go through every single groove in page 25 of Alfred's beginning drum set method, even though that's what I'm basing the video on. The main reason being, I kind of want you to be able to figure these out on your own. The other reason being that I don't have the book in front of me, and I only have a handful of those things memorized, so we're going to talk about some of them, but not all of them. We'll start here. So, basic rock beat. 16th hats, basic rock beat. To start us off, here's the foundation of every groove we're going to talk about today. That includes every groove in page 25, Alfred's beginning drum set method. You get it. That's every single one. 1 through 8, this is what your hands do. The only thing that changes is the bass foot. So, I suggest getting good at this. Maybe practice this first. You may notice after a while, you feel your right hand doing this. Let's go over here. You might feel your right hand doing this. Your right hand is playing 8th notes. Your left hand is playing the offbeat 16ths. You put them together to create 16th notes, all 4 of them. For example, 1 and they're 8th notes. They're also the names of 2 of the 4 16th notes in beat 1. That's like a way to think of it. Another way to sort of figure these out is you just play it one-handed. So, try to interlace your left hand in between all the right-handed 8th notes. Okay, so I think you know how to play this groove. If you can't quite figure it out, just kind of give yourself time, work on those individual bits. If you're ready, let's move on. We can do this. Why not just do... Let's keep it simple and go directly to the challenging bit. I imagine the challenging bit might be that part. Try with one hand. Your right hand, that is. Which is the method we discussed earlier. Remember, if your right hand is playing all of the 8th notes, and you're hitting bass 8th notes, those bass notes are gonna run right up against the right-handed hats. So use that. In fact, let's have the entire measure be 8th note basses. Here we go. It's just like every time your right hand hits the hi-hat, just put a bass drum there for this specific exercise. Should be pretty simple. Let's go ahead and try our first syncopated groove in this video. Now notice it's syncopated, but it's 8th note syncopation. That means the basses are going to land on your right hand again. I can't make up my mind between and. Choose whichever one you want. We're going to talk about 16th note syncopation. This one. If I remember correctly, that's exercise 8. Let's break exercise 8 in half. Let's make 2 distinct exercises out of them. So we got, as well as, so let's start here. I mentioned before how the right hand has the job of every 8th note. That means the left hand, by default, plays all the offbeat 16th notes. So if you see an offbeat 16th note bass or snare, but bass is the topic of this video, if you see an offbeat 16th note, you're going to hit that with your left hand. Your left hand's going to hit the hi-hat while that bass goes. Here's how I'd suggest approaching this. Try this out. So we have bass, E, and bass. Bass, E, and bass, right? You could think of it as right, 2, 3, left. You hit the bass with your right hand here. 2, 3, left. Hit the bass with your left hand there. Right, 2, 3, left. Right, 2, 3, left. Right, 2, 3, left, 2, E, and right. Right, 2, 3, left, 2, E, and That's a bit hard to say. Anyway. Once you have that, work the snare in there. You can also try this with a one-handed technique. When you're using one hand, the bass fits in between the hats. When you're using 2 hands, the bass lands on a left-handed hat. So between hats, or left-handed hat, they're essentially the same thing. The bass is on the of 1. If you're playing 8th notes here, bass goes in between at this spot. If you're playing 16th notes here, bass hits the left-handed hat at that spot. It's because it's at the of 1. So, sixteenths. Alright, let's move on to this one. So it's very much like the previous one, except instead of playing on the beat, we scooch it to the right a little bit, and now it's on like the E of 1 instead of just beat 1. Can you guess which hand we're going to use to hit this bass note? Which hand we're going to use to hit this bass note? The answer is the same for both. It's the left hand. Excuse me. I missed a couple of hats. So that's how you do that one. One-handed, it goes like this. Two-handed, it's like this. To end off, let's just put these two together. Try and use everything that you learned, assuming you master both exercises, and combine these to create exercise 8, page 25. 1, a 2, E, a 4. 1, 2, E, a 4. That's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. Like the video if you liked it. Goodbye.